Cindy. It's so great to see you. How are you?
I couldn't be better. And I'm so glad we're having this chat. It's long overdue, and I think of you all the time. And so I'm really glad that you scheduled this.
Me too. I am so happy as well. And thank you so much for taking the time to jump on this call with me. For folks that are going to be tuning in for the first time, I want to make sure we're just doing a proper introduction here. So, for those of you that I don't know, my name is Nicole Carline, and I am a business partner and also a coach at the Legacy Builder program. And at the Legacy Builder program, we help individuals who are considering a career transition and who want to land a job of their dreams or that they love so that they can start living a more meaningful life and start building their legacy as soon as possible. So we know there's a lot of people out there today who are burnt out, who are also working for the paycheck and who want to do work that's either more meaningful or work that they love. And I'm so happy that Cindy is here with me today because she and I have so much that we relate on. She and I have both been through the Legacy program ourselves. But not only that, she is a dear friend and also a client who has gone through the program. And I thought it was so important for her to share her story today. So, Cindy, thanks so much for joining.
It's my pleasure.
Awesome. So, Cindy, I thought it would be helpful. As you know, there's so many people out there too
Mhm.
that were in that same position that you were in, right? Where you were not satisfied in the work that you were doing, but maybe you could just share your experience of that state of mind that you were in, right? Before you came to the Legacy program, maybe share a little bit more background on your experience and how
Sure.
you got to that place.
Sure. I'd be happy to. Um, so I had been in high tech enterprise level sales and sales management for over 40 years and loved it, did well, hit a lot of the big logos, covered most of Silicon Valley, very large companies, name recognition, and had a great career in so many ways.
Yep.
And it was very financially rewarding. I was able to support my family in a very nice way, and enjoy, all the stuff that goes, all the goodies that go with that. But I reached a point, in my mid 60s where it just wasn't floating my boat anymore. And there were a number of contributing factors, not the least of which was that, when that alarm clock went off, I just didn't have that passion to go and tackle another day,
Yep.
um, because it was feeling monotonous. I wasn't feeling like I was getting anywhere. I felt like I was pedaling in place.
Yep.
I was really tired of corporate bureaucracy, even though I worked for many, many great companies that, I wouldn't trade those those experiences for all the tea in China. But, um, uh, big corporations just weren't doing it for me anymore. And I grew weary. I got tired of getting into meetings and on, video calls where people didn't show up on time. The meeting didn't get
Sure.
started on time. We started discussing, oh, do we really need to have this meeting? Or gee whiz, Johnny didn't accept it and we should reschedule it. And I felt like my time was getting wasted and I just didn't feel like I was accomplishing anything meaningful anymore.
Yep.
And so, that along with the stress of the pandemic, it kind of collided, what I was feeling collided with, some of the stress that we all went through with the pandemic. And I had a number of really difficult challenges in my personal life at that time too, that just added to my
All the weight.
dissatisfaction overall.
Right.
And so, having worked with you and developed a, colleague, professional and personal friendship with you during that period of time at our last company. And we'd stayed in touch. And another colleague of ours reminded me that you had gotten into this coaching program and really encouraged me. He knew I wasn't happy and he says, you should call Nicole. And So I did. And we had a great chat. And I think I
Yep.
just signed up the same day or within that week and
Yep.
said, you know what? The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. And so I better do something different. Otherwise, I'm going to stay stuck forever.
Yeah,
And, and so we got started on the program.
definitely. Do you ever
And
have any moments too when you kind of look back and you say, what if I didn't do this? Where would I be now?
oh, absolutely. I think about it almost daily and I go, you know what? I would have still been stuck. And there were
Yeah.
some good reasons why I was being hesitant, right?
Hmm.
Program that you helped coach me through um, really enlightened me. It made me look inside myself. And I
Hmm.
still have my vision board up here in front of me. I've changed it a little bit over the last few months because my circumstances are different now. But
Of course.
one of the things you may remember, and I don't even remember where I got this, it's probably up there, but is a quote. And it didn't mean a lot to me at the time, but something seemed important about it. And that quote was, a person often meets her destiny on the road she took to avoid it.
I love
And,
it.
and I think about that constantly because
Yep.
I was avoiding going down a certain path.
Yep.
And and then I took it and my whole life has just changed in the last 8 months. It's just been absolutely amazing.
I
So
that makes me so happy, Cindy, right? I mean, not only just because we share so much in common together, obviously, the experiences that we've had, but then just to know that you have found a whole new life, right? And your happiness now has just been taking on a whole new journey, right? But it is, to your point, it's the fear that holds us back.
uh-huh.
It's the fear that we have of the unknown. It's the fear of feeling like we have been doing the same kind of work for such a long time. If I try something new, what if I fail? What if I don't make the same kind of paycheck? What if, what if all those things just don't work? Right? That is what holds people back, is that fear. But when I actually have looked back at in my life, in relationships, in job decisions, in decisions of changing jobs, you have that fear of what's the unknown. But I have found when I look back at all those really challenging and difficult events, every time something has gone better on the other side, even better
Mhm,
than what I could have
mhm,
imagined.
mhm.
Right?
Yeah. And you told me that.
Yep.
We had this discussion when I first started the program. And I had faith because I, number one, really respect you and love you and believe in you. But I knew again that the definition of insanity was just staying put where I was, and
Yep.
that wasn't going to get me anywhere. So yeah, embarked down the journey and I couldn't be happier.
I love it. Amazing. So tell us a little bit. Tell us a little bit about where you are now and what you're doing.
You bet. So after I got, well, I'll tell you a little bit about a pivotal point in the program, right? And that was
Yes.
about 6 weeks into the 8 weeks.
Yep.
And I had gone through the vision and my why and what I liked and what I didn't, and the Clifton Strength Finders, and all of that,
Hmm.
all the soul searching. Um, and then the program had more modules that said, okay, now we're going to work on helping you improve your resume and get more visibility on
Hmm.
LinkedIn and get more job interviews and options. And I kind of went, wow, wait a minute.
Yep.
I was turning down job offers. I was getting plenty of attention, but that isn't what I wanted to do anymore.
Yep.
And so then there was another option offered in the program that said, or maybe you want to work for yourself.
Exactly.
And
Have
that
that
was
fork in the road.
defining moment for me. And so I thought, okay, let's explore this. And as I've told many people over the last 6 or 8 months, I'm not a creative right brain person. I'm not going to invent the next electric car or chia pet or pet rock or whatever it is, and
Right,
take
right.
it to Shark Tank and
Yep.
say, fund me for $500,000.
Right, right.
I'm not an inventor. And so I thought, okay, well, what businesses are out there, business opportunities that are already out there that
Hmm.
I could, excuse me, explore.
Yep.
And so that's what I did. And so that took me down existing businesses, and there's a lot of franchise opportunities out there.
That's right.
And a lot of people have like this funny notion about franchises, like, oh, be careful, and they just
Entrepreneurship, right? Sometimes it's that stick.
exploring them, because what made sense to me was if I could find something solid with a proven business model
Yep.
that I found interesting,
Hmm.
that probably was a good thing to look seriously at. And so, I didn't want to go into the fast food business, and I didn't want to go into the automotive repair and lube business, and
Right.
I didn't want to. There's a lot of home care for elders now out there where you could place caregivers. Didn't want to do that. I have an
Hmm.
aging mom, and I know a lot about what's involved in
Of
trying to
course.
do that on a personal level. And so I just kept, searching, used the Google word, and just kept looking and looking and looking, and came across Payroll Vault.
Yep.
And it's an established franchise, 14 years ago, almost 15 now. It's been franchised for over 10. We have 65 offices across the country, all individually owned and operated, and I'm now one
Awesome.
of those owners.
I love it.
The founder and the co-founder and the executive team, I took from probably January through June of 2022 to vet them and
Hmm.
meet them. And I talked with probably close to a dozen of the other franchise owners, and I couldn't find any warts. There are some, but it's growing pains, and I'm now in a position to help with those growing pains, just
I
like
love
the
it.
other owners do.
Yep.
And it's a great group of people. And so I invested in the franchise last June, and it's opened up a whole new world to me, a whole new world. And I'm so inspired by the quality and the energy of
Hmm.
working around other small business owners. So just like when you and I were working for a big corporation together, we
Yep.
had a work group. Well, I
Yep.
now have a work group. It's just a different work group, and
That's
it's
right.
it's my peers in the franchise owner community.
Hmm.
It is all of the networking. It's very much a referral and a networking business.
Sure.
And so I joined a couple of the two chambers of commerce and networking groups inside of those. So I now belong to 7 networking groups.
Oh my God. And you're so
And
excellent at that. It is just,
well, thank you.
you are. I mean, just
I'm enjoying it
building
more than I thought I would.
relationships and so energetic and being able to go out there and meet people so easily. And you're just so good. And then sharing obviously what you do, right?
Yeah.
To absolutely. It's like right up your alley. I love it.
Thank you. And yeah, and um, I was recently nominated to be on the board of directors of one of those chambers. And just
Wow.
and just this morning, I got a phone call from the chair of the board saying that they met this morning and that I'd been unanimously approved to be a board member.
Oh my gosh. Honestly, Cindy, amazing. I mean, this is
It's it
it,
is.
it- and when I just think about like the place that you were in almost 1.5 years ago,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Um,
Even a year ago
a
when we had
year.
just finished up the program.
Yep. And it was, but remember coming in and be just feeling when you have a lot of chaos going on in your life, right? When you're not happy with your job, when it's impacting everything around you, whether it's relationships, health, how you are in your community, it impacts all of these other things that you have, and you just can't seem to think straight. You don't have the ability to focus. That's what causes the, I know I want to do something different, but I have no idea what that is.
Hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
And most people will go and they'll just start searching. Like you said, they'll start searching on Glassdoor. They'll start looking for other jobs. They'll get offers from other companies to do similar things. But at the end of the day, that's not what's going to make you feel better. It's like you knew that that was, you wanted to do something more. You wanted to work with different type of people. You wanted to get out of big corporate America, and you needed to take some time to take a step back and reflect to help you get that clarity that you needed.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
once you started to get that, you started putting your focus and energy into what you wanted to do. And you got very clear on that. But I remember even in the like week 2 and week 3, you started to identify your passion and your interest for financial management. That
Hmm.
came up a few
Hmm.
times because
Yeah.
it
It,
was important to you. It's something that you're passionate about, something that you take care of personally in your life. And so now you're helping others with that.
that's right. I hadn't even connected those particular dots, but you're right.
You're
And
helping other people with that.
I am, and I'm as successful and as many small businesses as there are out there.
Hmm.
And so now I am a small business owner helping other small businesses in the community in which I've lived for a long, long time, over
Hmm.
3 decades. And
Hmm.
I'm able to bring all of that together and help these business owners, many of whom I've become friends with now, and help them, almost in a consulting kind of a role.
Absolutely. And help them stay in business and stay on top of their finances and know what
Yeah.
they need to do.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
yeah, my very first client, was like, wow, I'm so glad that we're talking and I'm doing this with you because, I started talking with him about more than just payroll. Well, what about your, merchant services?
Sure.
And was able to save him some money and get a better system for that, and his workers comp, and so there's just all kinds of areas that I was able to influence, all
Definitely.
while providing personalized service to a small business owner. And it feels good.
Absolutely.
It just feels really, really good.
Absolutely. So, how would you say you wake up these days feeling in the morning?
I still get up at 5:30. I get my coffee. I
I
watch the
love it.
financial news. I check my calendar, but I'm raring to go. And
Awesome.
I'm tired at the end of the day, which, often, like today, my
Hmm.
day will end at 5, but then I've
Yep.
got 2 business networking events, and those will go till 8, and I won't get home till 9.
Oh my
And
goodness.
I'll be disappointed because I'll have a stack of things I intended to get done that didn't get done, and I'm sorry that there's no more hours in the day. And
Yep.
that happens every single day.
Sure.
And
Of
as tired
course.
as I have more energy. It's because I love what I'm doing.
Amazing. I love that. That's so awesome. Is there anything else that you would say in the program that kind of really helped you, any specific modules or trainings that stood out that allowed you to get more clarity?
I really think, the whole vision board and
Mhm.
the why, that whole piece really sticks in my, and I've kept a folder and I meant to look through it a little bit more. I've got all my, you know, the the mind mapping, and some of the things like the videos, the brands, I think there was a Richard Branson. Oh no, the
Yep.
Warren Buffett
The
video,
Warren Buffett.
the
Yeah.
founder of Spanx, and all of that. The other thing was the total well-being score.
Yep.
That was eye-opening to me.
By the way, I would love for you to take that assessment again.
Okay.
You can do
Yeah,
that. You can
if my
access it.
that
And
I wouldn't, I definitely will do that. Yeah.
yep, because most people come into this program and their scores are usually hanging in that like 40s and 50s, because when
Uh-huh.
they are not in alignment with their career, when they feel like they're doing work, because a third of our life is spending time doing work, right? And so if we're not aligned to it, if we're not driven by it, passionate about it, it really, think about all that burden you take home, right? And the stress that you now have because you're unhappy that you're taking that out on your spouse, or you're taking it out on your partner, you're taking it out on your kids. You are not taking care of your body and your health, right? Because of all those factors. And so those scores show us that when we're out of balance in one part of our life, it really affects other areas
It
of our
does.
life too. But
It very much.
when we're happy and when we're really excited about work that we're doing, that now has the ability to impact all these other areas of your life. So I wouldn't be surprised if today you take that assessment and you're back in like 90s.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that would
Yeah, I'm
be
glad you suggested that because I'd like to see where I am, but
absolutely. I wanted to read you something too, because I was going back through your assignments and I want to see how this resonates with you now. Okay. So so one thing that we do is, to your point, Cindy, right? You start to think about your life. We have people just take a step back and they think about their life. And if they were to continue on the path of what they're on right now, what does that future look like for them? And we ask people to go through that in detail. And it's usually a very somber, sad story because you see the pain people are experiencing. But then we turn it around and we ask to create your vision statement. And you have that vision board, but we ask to create that vision statement because you need a path of to follow, right? We
mhm,
need a goal in our life. We need to imagine how our life, if we need to reflect back on our life, or if someone, and we said this, I hate to always think about, but if someone's reading your eulogy, how would you want them to be thinking about you and telling your story?
mhm,
Right? Is it that, oh, Cindy was great at working in big corporate America and, but unfortunately she was upset when she came home all the time, right? That's not the kind of path that we want to live down. But when we really have you write out how you want to leave your legacy, and that's that vision statement. So I took a portion of your vision statement because I thought it was really profound, and I wanted to just read it back to you to just kind of see what you think. But you say here, I want to be remembered for my commitment to what I believe and for my unwavering energy that I put into anything I tackle. I will be known for the wholehearted involvement with my family and grandkids. I am lucky and known for going big on whatever I do. To be loved and respected for the role model I am and the grace with which I live my life, and to be valued for the authenticity I demonstrate in everything I do. I want to feel fulfilled in the work I do on a day-to-day basis, recognized for being a take charge individual who surrounds herself with capable, confident people who give their all as I do. I want my work to include interactions with others who will challenge my intellect and stimulate my creativity and who will lift me up. I see myself having lots to give to all those around me with no holding back. I want to help others realize their full potential and go for it without holding back or having any reservations. I want to surround myself with others who will appreciate me and inspire me to do more.
wow. That I thank you for that reminder. That feels more true to me today than it even did then.
But you wrote that be in a place where that did not probably seem as possible.
Exactly.
You wrote those words at a time of that's where you want to be. right? And there's so many things that you just shared here, like even the 8 organizations and networking and going on the board of directors here. I mean, think about now the people you're surrounding yourself
Yeah.
with,
Yeah.
right?
And I do. I was at an event last night and I was feeling very appreciated and it was a little overwhelming.
Wow.
Why are, like little old me, I just started out doing this and why am I getting these accolades? And um it was humbling.
Yep. Well, it's amazing because I do feel like uh you're living your vision right
Hmm.
now,
Hmm.
right? And
Hmm.
I think it's
Yeah.
important to not only have that and put that on your vision board, but also I think it's important to reflect back, and it's always one that you want to continue to add to as well,
Yeah.
right?
Absolutely. And I just recently, since I got back from the conference on the East Coast, I just recently added um, a goal and a big one to that vision board because I came back from the conference thinking, oh, I am thinking too small. I am not
Awesome.
thinking big enough. Um, and so I was thinking, oh, I want to grow this by, X number of clients and,
Yep.
be a $250,000 business in the next couple of years. And then,
Mm-hmm.
then just kind of cruise. And I went, Cindy, why are you thinking that way? Why, the things I heard and the things I learned and the reflection that the conference helped me to go through.
Yep.
Um, and so, I was originally, if you remember, going to retire in 2025, and I'm not going to do that anymore. I,
Awesome.
I pushed it out another 5 years, happily so.
Amazing.
And so by 2030, my goal is to have my business be $1 million business.
I love it. I love it. And knowing you, I think it's going to even be sooner.
That'd be
I
great.
think it will even be sooner. Absolutely. But that's amazing. And you're right, right? I think that's another key point that you made is it is about we have this one shot in life, so it's about playing big. And
Yeah.
we tend to sometimes put like small goals
Sit on it.
and small goals are good. They allow us to feel, reach something, achieve something, but we have just one shot. And so we have to take the time to really play it much bigger.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
It
awesome.
feels really good. So I
Good.
feel like I'm growing every day and being a better self
Yep.
for me and for the world.
Awesome. I love it. So, Cindy, just maybe to help kind of close off for folks that are listening, right? What would you advise? What's some advice that you would give to people who were in that state that you were in before?
Have faith in yourself
Awesome.
and look at past successes that you've had because everybody's had them. We've all had failures,
Yep.
but we've all had past successes and build off of those and have faith that you can do something amazing in the future.
Awesome.
And then the analogy that I use to everybody, and I tell this story all the time, is that I finally just did this and jumped off the cliff and went, it's going to be okay.
I love
And,
it.
you know, there are days when it's still a little scary. I left a really, really nice corporate income and security blanket. And, I'm paying an employee, but I'm not yet paying myself. So there's
Mm-hmm.
an investment that anybody makes when they start a business.
Yeah.
But I I really don't have any qualms that that's a temporary situation and that I'll be profitable soon and the revenue will grow and I'm just very invigorated by all of it. So don't let your fear immobilize you.
I
That would
love it.
be how I'd sum it up. My dad went into business for himself after a military career and then corporate America. And then, my brother's been on his own. He's an attorney with his own firm and he's been doing that for years. So I
That's
kind of
right.
feel like I'm carrying on the family legacy and my son's in the finance world, and he's still raising a family, but I suspect he will branch out on his own at some point too. I think it's in my family's DNA to do that.
Well, I could not thank you enough to be here today. I really, really do
Inviting me.
appreciate it so much. And I love seeing your beautiful smile and face, and I'm so happy. I can't wait to hear more on your journey. And I know you're going to get there sooner before 2030.
There you go. You're raising the bar for me. I love it.
Absolutely. I'm gonna keep holding you accountable, Cindy.
Thank you, Nicole. You're terrific.
Thank you so much. Sending lots of love and hugs your way from coast to coast here.
That's right.
So thank you so much. I really appreciate it, Cindy.